Hello and welcome to the John F. Wood Center. My name is Justin, and in this tutorial series I will be taking you through the equipment offered in the MakerSpace and showing you how they work. This video will be explaining how the button maker works. A button maker is a pretty self-explanatory device that is used to make pin-backed buttons. In the MakerSpace, we encourage students to create custom buttons for their businesses and/or personal projects. You can find our button maker bin in the MakerSpace cabinets. In this bin, you will find three important tools used to make the buttons. The first is the button press itself. The second is a box with all the interchangeable inserts for the press. And the final tool is a bag with all the button pieces of each size. The MakerSpace currently offers two sizes of buttons, medium and large. Medium buttons are 37mm wide or 1.45 inches, and the large buttons are 58mm wide or 2.28 inches. In this tutorial, we will make one of each size. The button maker should have the general top and bottom housing inserts already attached. The light blue inserts are used for the medium-sized buttons, and the darker blue inserts are used for the large buttons. The first step is to have your design cut and ready. There are two methods to do this. The first method is to use the button maker to cut your printed or drawn design, and the second method is to use the Cricut machine to print and precisely cut the design for you. In this video, I will demonstrate the method using the button maker. Keep in mind that the designs you wish to use will need to be cut or printed at a larger size than the button itself will end up being. For example, the medium buttons, which are 37mm wide, will need a design that is 49mm wide, and the large buttons, which are 58mm wide, will need designs that are 70mm wide. That's because the edges of the design will be wrapped around the button to keep it secure. Do also keep this in mind when you are making your design, that it should be smaller in the middle so that the edges of the design don't get cut off. To cut the design with the button maker, place the design in between the general top and bottom base inserts, which are the white ones, with the cutting die of the respective size sitting on top of the design. You can use the cutting die as a guide and indication for how you want the button to look. Again, the light blue cutting die is for the medium-sized buttons, and the darker blue cutting die is for the large buttons. For my buttons, I printed a sheet with multiple designs and cut them out individually, making sure to get closer to the edges so that the paper fits in the button maker. Once the design and cutting die is lined up how you want it, place them on the base insert, swing it under the top part, and push down on the press to cut out the design. I would recommend pressing down multiple times while slightly changing around the positioning of the design to ensure that the cutting die goes all the way through. If the cut doesn't go through all the way, you might have a hard time taking out the design. Don't worry if the design doesn't come out perfectly cut though, as the button maker can still make the button even if the edges aren't clean, but you will have an easier time if they are. The second step is to start creating your button, and we will begin with the front. Remove the general base inserts from the button press and replace them with the top and base inserts of the size respective to the button you're trying to create. I will first demonstrate this with the large button and the dark blue inserts. Rotate both of the inserts so that the arrows attached to the A are pointed to the arrows on the press. Place the button shell upright into the base insert, then layer the cut paper design over the shell using the line on the side as a guide to ensure that the text and imagery of the button will be straight. Next, place the mylar over top the button for a glossy protective layer. Including the mylar is optional, but I'd highly recommend it to protect your button and give it a professional look. After that, swivel the base housing into place and press down. Be mindful of the arrows and make sure they line up before pressing. You might need to rotate the top or bottom insert slightly to ensure the button is put together correctly. Afterwards, swivel the base out to start the next step. Keep in mind that the button is currently attached to the top, so be careful when rotating the insert and don't touch it directly or else the button might fall and you won't be able to finish it. The third and final step is to finish putting together the button with the back piece. Rotate the top and bottom inserts so that the arrows on B lines up with the arrows on the press. I personally recommend not twisting the top insert all the way, as sometimes it will get stuck when you're trying to press it down. Place the pin back into the base insert, pin side down, aligning the pin to the guiding line on the base insert, which should be rotated 45 degrees. Swivel the base insert back into place and press. Finally, you can swivel the base back and take out your finished button. And that's how you can make buttons with our button maker. If you have any questions throughout the process, our staff is always happy to help out. Be sure to check out the Wood Center YouTube channel for more tutorials on how to use all of our other equipment.